How to improve communication skills. Effective communication is essential for success in both personal and professional settings. Whether you're trying to persuade a client to buy your product, negotiate a raise with your boss, or simply explain a complicated idea to a colleague, the ability to communicate clearly and effectively is key. Here are some tips for improving your communication skills. 1. Listen actively. One of the most important aspects of effective communication is being a good listener. This means not just hearing what the other person is saying, but actively trying to understand their perspective and respond appropriately. To do this, try to put yourself in their shoes and pay attention to both the words they're using and the tone of their voice. 2. Speak clearly and confidently. When you're communicating, it's important to speak clearly and confidently. This means using a strong, steady voice and making sure that your words are easy to understand. Avoid using jargon or complex vocabulary that might confuse your audience, and make sure to speak at a pace that's easy for them to follow. 3. Be concise and to the point. One of the biggest mistakes people make when communicating is being too wordy or rambling. To avoid this, try to be as concise as possible and stick to the main points you want to make. This will help keep your audience engaged and make it more likely that they'll understand and remember what you're saying. 4. Be open to feedback. Effective communication is a two-way street, so it's important to be open to feedback and willing to adjust your communication style as needed. If someone tells you that they're having trouble understanding what you're saying, for example, take that feedback seriously and try to adjust your approach. 5. Practice, practice, practice. Like any skill, effective communication takes practice. The more you communicate with others, the more comfortable and confident you'll become. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there and try new things. Here are some related quotes on communication. The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. Peter Drucker. This quote highlights the importance of paying attention to nonverbal cues and the underlying meaning behind words. By listening actively and being attuned to the other person's perspective, you can gain a deeper understanding of what they're trying to communicate. The single biggest problem with communication is the illusion that it has taken place. George Bernard Shaw. This quote highlights the importance of clear and effective communication. If the person you're communicating with doesn't understand what you're saying, then the communication has not been successful. By being concise and to the point and actively seeking feedback, you can ensure that your message is being received. Communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Nat Turner. This quote highlights the importance of communication in resolving confusion or misunderstandings. By being clear and direct in your communication, you can help ensure that everyone is on the same page and working towards the same goal. In conclusion, improving your communication skills takes time and effort, but it's well worth it. By listening actively, speaking clearly and confidently, being concise and to the point, being open to feedback, and practicing regularly, you can develop the skills you need to communicate effectively in any situation.